Perhaps the greatest mystery of all are the pyramids that can be found all across China. The Chinese pyramids, concealed for centuries, remain relatively unknown globally.
This is the type of shit I'm talking about, man. How old are the pyramids in China? I don't think I've ever
These ancient
seen
structures
what's
dot
inside the
China's
structures.
central plains and deserts, predominantly in Shanxi province. Yet the Chinese Communist government has imposed strict prohibitions on excavating and even visiting these ancient edifices. The local farmers living near the pyramids are encouraged to plant trees on the pyramids to
What's inside these pyramids? Has anybody, like, how come we never hear anything about what's inside these damn pyramids?
conceal them. With over 200 pyramids discovered, their true purpose and origin remain a complete mystery, obscured not only by physical barriers, but also by governmental restrictions. The first recorded mention of these pyramids in the West dates back to 1912, when travel agent Fred Meyer Schroeder reported their existence, noting that there are massive pyramids there. However, it wasn't until the mid-20th century that these structures gained significant attention. During World War II, American pilot James Gaussman flew over the area and captured photographs of these structures. But it wasn't until the advent of satellite imagery that we were able to understand the true scale and number of these Chinese pyramids. Similar to pyramids elsewhere in the globe, the Chinese pyramids are precisely oriented, with their corners perfectly aligned.
You see that? Egypt and China, you see that? How they kind of have like a diagonal formation? Ah, this shit blows me away, bro.
To Earth's cardinal directions. In terms of astronomy, they are slightly misaligned from the Gemini constellation, aligning almost exactly during the spring equinox several millennia ago. This slight deviation of 14 degrees can be explained by the axial precession of the Earth, a phenomenon where the planet's axis slowly wobbles, completing a full cycle approximately every 25,700 years. This means that these pyramids could be tens of thousands of years old. Another incredible similarity and cosmic alignment can be found when you compare the layout of the pyramid complex of Teotihuacan in Mexico with
Yeah, yeah, in Mexico, Egypt, China. I mean, where else can we find? We might be able to find a pyramid in Antarctica, someplace out, maybe in Greenland, man. It's
the Giza complex in Egypt and with the Xi'an pyramid complex in China. All three sites are structured in almost the exact same way and
wow. There's some type of connection, I think, man. Like we're talking thousands of years, tens of thousands of years before man can write information on tablet or on clay tablet or whatever. This we're talking tens of thousands of years ago. Tens of thousands of years ago. And you know what? I have a feeling there's more pyramids out there, and we just haven't found them yet. There might be one in Antarctica. I've been hearing rumors about one.
mirror
Wow.
the Orion constellation. How is this possible, considering all three of them are on different continents, separated by thousands of miles? Moreover, all three pyramid complexes are aligned in a near straight line, having the same orientation. Was this just a coincidence? Or is there more to the story? The remarkable presence of Chinese pyramids, particularly the colossal Great White Pyramid located in the valley of Shanxi province, is considered by many the largest pyramid in the world.
Are you serious?
It's twice the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza, with a height of around 1,000 feet or 300 meters. This means that the construction of this gigantic pyramid would require no less than 50 million tons of stone. Some have linked the extensive network of caves discussed earlier with the massive pyramids in the area.
What?
As we discussed before, the stone extracted from all of these caves was never found anywhere in the area. This situation leads to speculation that the large amount
Aliens.
of stone taken from these caves might have been employed in building the numerous pyramids throughout China, specifically the Great White Pyramid. Additionally, the gigantic stones extracted from the Yangshan quarry could also have been used for the construction of all of these pyramids.
Wow, man.
The most famous site in China, the Terracotta Army, is also built right at the edge of a massive pyramid that is still unexcavated.
How are these pyramids have not been penetrated yet? Pause. How? I mean, Chinese government, I'm sure they've done it already, and I'm sure they found whatever secrets in there. They just don't want to share with the rest of the world, man. I'm guessing they don't want to partake in comparing notes, if you will. Man, I just want to know, man, what are the secrets of these Chinese pyramids?
Discovered in 1974 by local farmers digging a well, the Terracotta Army encompasses more than 8,000 soldiers, along with chariots, horses, officials, acrobats, strongmen, and musicians, each with unique facial features.
I wonder how old these statues are, because you got to think about, if you see a site like this, there might be a chance that we might see something similar in another region someplace. Like just an army of clay statues. That's amazing.
And expressions, suggesting they were modeled after real individuals. The figures are life-sized and were originally painted, although much of the paint has flaked away over the centuries. The Terracotta Army was part of a larger necropolis designed to mirror the urban plain of the capital city and served to protect the Emperor Qin Shi Huang in the afterlife. Qin Shi Huang is the first emperor of China, who founded the Qin dynasty.
Wow.
He was a monumental figure in Chinese history, known for his conquests that united China, the construction of the Great Wall, and the standardization of the monetary and legal systems.
It's incredible.
Entombed for over 2,000 years,
2,000 years.
the Terracotta Army form a massive underground mausoleum,
Damn.
the construction of which involves 700,000 workers and artisans over several decades. The site was a 4-layered subterranean city, at the center of which lies one of China's greatest mysteries.
So China has been more advanced than every other part of the world, because that's been 2,000 years, and they created statues that look like this. They were far more advanced than everybody. They were way ahead of everybody.
The emperor's burial mound, which has not yet been excavated due
What? Look at that. Look at that shit.
to high levels of mercury.
Look at that shit. Yeah, look at these chambers, underground palace.
Archaeologists believe that beneath this mound lies a chamber with Qin Shi Huang's remains, surrounded by a miniature cosmic model. The tomb is thought to replicate the universe, with the ceiling representing the night sky, adorned with pearls as stars, and the ground mimicking the landscape of China, where flowing mercury symbolizes the rivers.
That's basically poison.
Considering how fascinating this site is, just imagine what secrets could be found inside the pyramid adjacent to it, which is most likely thousands of years older than the Terracotta Army itself.
Within the pyramid is a lake of mercury, that there are mechanical devices in there which will fire arrows at you if you go in, that there's a whole story about how intensely protected it is, and up to this day it's not been excavated.
The mystery surrounding the Chinese pyramids...
Wait a minute.
Wait,
how would they know that if it hasn't been excavated yet? How would they know all of this?
Intensely there, which will fire arrows at you if you go in, that there's a whole story about how intensely protected it is, and up to this day it's not been excavated.
So they just going by urban legends.
The mystery surrounding the Chinese pyramids extends far back in history, with documented references to these structures dating back to the early 17th century. Notably, a Roman Jesuit whose observations have been preserved in various historical accounts penned some of the earliest Western descriptions of these remarkable constructions. However, it was Joseph de Guigne, a renowned French Orientalist and sinologist in the 18th century, who significantly contributed to the discourse with his provocative theory. In his 1785 publication, an essay in which we prove the Chinese are an Egyptian colony, de Guigne posited a direct connection between the Chinese and ancient Egyptians, largely based on the presence of pyramid-like structures in China, along with certain cultural and linguistic similarities.
Yeah, you're talking about Sanskrit, and then you're talking about ancient hieroglyphics. Yeah, there is a similarity there because they're like pictographs. You know, hieroglyphics, Sanskrit, ancient Chinese scribed lettering systems is basically little tiny pictures. There is some type of correlation between the two. So being thousands of miles apart with those types of similarities, aliens, I'm telling you.
Indicating a possible historical link between the two civilizations.
I'm telling you, it's
But
aliens.
the architectural features of these structures do not resemble just the pyramids in Egypt, but those in South America. There's an interesting site known as the Guanlin Temple, located near Luoyang in the Henan province. This site is steeped in history and reverence, primarily known as the Tomb and Memorial Complex for Guan Yu, a famous general in Chinese folklore and history. While the temple serves as a commemorative site, its architectural features and the age of some structures within the complex suggest a much older origin, potentially predating the commonly accepted historical timelines associated with the temple. Many believe the ancient Chinese used this structure as a tomb, the same way as the ancient Egyptians used various ancient sites in Egypt, although they were not their true architects, as these sites were way too advanced for their bronze tools and knowledge. The tomb of the general, located in Jian, Jilin province in China, is part of the Goguryeo Tombs complex. This pyramid structure was most likely thousands of years older than the Goguryeo kingdom, which used the pyramid as a tomb, although they didn't construct it. The pyramid shape of the tomb of the general represents a unique architectural style in East Asia, distinct from the more rounded burial mounds commonly found in other parts of China and Korea. Curiously, this pyramid has a broad base that narrows towards the top, very similar to the Mesoamerican pyramids built by civilizations like the Aztecs and Mayans. The similarities are intriguing from a comparative perspective because their builders were believed to have developed independently on the opposite sides of the world. These similarities are not just superficial. They extend to the engineering techniques, the orientation and alignment with astronomical events, and the multi-tiered design that is characteristic of many pyramid structures around the world. The idea that such architectural and engineering concepts could span across continents and cultures suggests a potential exchange of knowledge or a common architectural lineage that has yet to be fully understood. Curiously, all across the world, there are ancient stories about
about the handbags. I know about those handbags. I've studied about this. How when they would make a sculpture on a wall, if they make some type of artwork on a wall, there'd be these deities and these beings, and they're carrying these strange, similar handbags, purses. And those purses, they're supposed to mean something, but nobody knows shit about that. Nobody knows a damn thing. All across the world, you'll see these handbags on these stone tablets, on these big ass mosaics. It's crazy.
Mythical figures that visited our ancestors.
What's with the
and
handbags?
gave them advanced knowledge and technology, kickstarting their civilization. In Mesopotamian mythology, the Apkallu were 7 sages sent by the god Enki to teach humanity various arts of civilization, including writing, law, temple building, and agriculture. In Mesoamerican cultures, particularly among the Aztecs and Toltecs, there's Quetzalcoatl, a provider of agricultural knowledge who taught the ancient people the use of metalwork,
Feathered
the
serpent
calendar,
god.
and the cultivation of maize. In Egyptian mythology, there was Thoth, a deity who gave the Egyptians writing in the form of hieroglyphics, together with various other advanced knowledge, boosting their civilization significantly. Many researchers like Graham Hancock believe these beings were survivors of an ancient cataclysm that destroyed the advanced civilization that constructed all of these massive megalithic monuments across the globe. These survivors then spread across the world and gave knowledge to the primitive hunter-gatherer societies. Interestingly, in Chinese mythology, we can find a similar figure. The Yellow Emperor, Wang Di, is a mythic figure in Chinese history that is often regarded as the progenitor of Chinese civilization. His contributions to the fabric of Chinese culture are immense, ranging from the creation of traditional Chinese medicine, including acupuncture, to the introduction of wooden houses, the bow and arrow, bronze coins, and a written language. The knowledge and technologies he gave to the ancient people were so immense that he became known as the founder of Chinese civilization. Comparing the Yellow Emperor with other civilizational bringers all across the world, one can discern a pattern where these figures are often credited with introducing critical advancements to society. All of this would essentially mean that the advanced megastructures found all across China were the works of a far more ancient civilization, a civilization lost to time and missing from our history books. One of the more controversial discoveries in China are the so-called Baigong pipes. The enigma of Mount Baigong's mysterious pipes remains one of the unresolved mysteries of the past decade. In 1996, a research expedition found around 24 pipes with diameters ranging from 1 to 50 inches, or 2 to 40 centimeters, embedded in the rock formations, suggesting an intricate man-made structure. These perplexing objects have sparked widespread media attention but have yet to be scrutinized by rigorous scientific study. Theories about their origins are abundant and varied, with suggestions ranging from an ancient water system to an advanced lake drainage mechanism.
So they had like some type of aqueduct in this. That's pretty cool.
Chemical analysis of the pipes indicated a high content of iron oxide,
Poison. It's poisonous.
alongside significant amounts of silicon dioxide and calcium oxide. Remarkably, the artifacts were estimated to be over 5,000 years old, predating
What? They had an aqueduct system that long ago?
the known advent of iron smelting in China. Public information about the Baigong pipes emerged in June 2002 when a Chinese newspaper published an article claiming the discovery could challenge the entire narrative of human history. Following this, other publications sensationalized the pipes as remnants of technologically advanced structures, captivating public interest. During a search for dinosaur fossils near Mount Baigong, a group of American scientists encountered several caves containing more peculiar objects. Among these were 2 rusty iron pipes, each about 40 centimeters, approximately 16 inches, in diameter. One pipe seemed to stretch from the mountain's peak into the cave, while the other descended from the cave's floor, suggesting they were part of an ancient system or mechanism. Of the 3 caves identified, 2 had collapsed, obscuring their contents.
This is the oldest plumbing system I've ever seen. I didn't think they even had the notion of this embedded in rock in the earth 5,000 years ago. We don't know anything about what happened then. We know nothing, man. Nothing was written down. Nothing. How is that possible? 5,000 years? How is that possible?
Later investigations in the area revealed additional pipes, approximately 12, with diameters ranging from 2 to 5 centimeters.
Come on, that don't even look like anything available could have made these little rivets here. Look at that. The top corner. Look at that. That's a machine handiwork right there. There's no way. This too, look how smooth that is. None of this makes sense. None of it makes sense.
Meters, roughly 1 to 2 inches, suggesting a complex and extensive network. Observers have noted that the pipes are complexly interconnected, suggesting their creators possessed highly advanced technology.
And these are made out of iron too? Well, that's toxic to a human being.
These pipes were found near Lake Tosan, about 80 meters or 260 feet from Mount Baigong.
No way.
With sizes ranging from a few centimeters to as thin as a few millimeters, similar to a toothpick. Some of these pipes were embedded in the lake's bottom or protruding above its surface. Despite their discovery, they have yet to attract significant scientific scrutiny and are seldom mentioned in academic circles. Among the conjectures is the idea that the pipes are part of an ancient water management system, possibly linked to a pyramid-like structure which is speculated to have stood 50 to 60 meters, or around 200 feet tall on the mountain, featuring triangular shafts and wells leading down its sides. This hypothetical pyramid is thought to have channeled water from Lake Tosan through the complex network of pipes. Serious discussion about the origins of the Baigong pipes necessitates a detailed chemical examination. One of the few to conduct such an analysis is Chinese scientist Liu Shaolin, who found that the pipes mainly consist of Chinese science.
That's a cool ass name. That's a cool ass shout out to Mortal Kombat name. Shout out, bro. That's a cool ass name.
Scientist Liu Shaolin, who found that the pipes mainly consist of iron oxides, calcium, and silicon, with about 8% of the materials unidentified. Liu's research suggests that the pipes might be calcite formations or pseudomorphs, where minerals replace organic matter like wood roots over time, akin to the fossilization process. This theory is supported by atomic spectroscopy studies in 2003, which detected organic compounds and growth rings, indicating the pipes are natural formations, not artifacts of advanced technology. Despite these findings, the mystery deepened when, in 2007, the Chinese Seismological Bureau reported significant radioactivity in some pipes, adding another layer of intrigue. If the pipes are really natural formations, why would they have radioactive properties? The complete story of the Baigong pipes remains partially told, with their precise nature and origin still awaiting further exploration and scientific inquiry. Although it's most likely that the so-called pipes are actually just natural formations, created by ancient trees that fell down and were calcified and fossilized, we still know for certain that the Yangshan Quarry with its gigantic stone block, the cave networks carved with advanced technology, and all the hundreds of pyramids scattered across China are all man-made constructions. All of these megastructures alone are enough for us to conclude that there really was an advanced ancient civilization that resided in what is now China. Who this civilization was still remains a mystery. If you want to dive into a journey of advanced lost technology and sophisticated megastructures, you can watch our 2-hour documentary on the pre-Egyptian artifacts and technologies.
Yeah, I'm subscribing. Absolutely. I'm subscribing immediately.
In which we explore several sites and pieces that we believe were built by a civilization.
This shit is just crazy, bro. I love getting into the ancient technologies that were impossibly made. I love getting into that, man. It gets us a deep dive into like what brought us into this civilization. How come so many things that we were advancing is lost due to time? I mean, we have a lot of secrets under the sea, in the oceans, way down south, Antarctica. There's so many things that we need to uncover and unpack. What more proof do you need to know that we're not alone in this universe? What more proof do you need?